Hello everyone! For today's video tutorial, we are going to discuss Boolean algebra and digital logic. So let's start with the discussion of the most important person that we should know when we're going to talk about Boolean algebra. So George Boole, sino to siya? Ito si George Boole, he is the creator or he developed or implemented the idea or the concept of Boolean algebra. So just before he turned 16, no, at that very young age, ito si Boole, marami na siyang nagawa. So before he turned 16, he became a teacher at a small Methodist school in their area. And then, at the age of 19, si Boole, he returned to his home in England and he founded his own school after just 16, 17, 18. 2 years. No, after 2 years, nagtayo na siya ng sarili niyang school. Ito kasi si George Boole, he is the provider of their family, so kailangan niya talagang kumayod. So, he operated his own school for 15 years until he became a professor of mathematics at Queen's College in Ireland. Even though hindi siya nakapag-aral in one of the famous university before, hindi yon hindrance para sa kanya to author many papers, no? Isa sa mga very famous na authored paper ni George Boole is itong The Laws of Thought, published in 1854. So, in this paper, no, he stated and parang established the branch of mathematics known as the symbolic logic or Boolean algebra. And then, after 85 years, si John Vincent Atanasoff, he applied Boolean algebra to computing. And the whole story behind the application of Boolean algebra to a certain computing machine is really fun. Yes. Ito si John Vincent Atanasoff, his idea of a computing machine before, he is still using a mechanical engine. So, hindi gumagamit ng kuryente, more on mga mechanical devices lang. And, ang ginagamit niya na base noon is base 10, which is, ngayon, ang ginagamit ng mga computer natin, or mga digital computer is base 2. So, yun na nga, ang ginagawa or binadevelop ni Atanasoff na computing machine noon is mechanical and still use base 10. So, as John Atanasoff is currently developing his computing machine, hindi niya talaga na-achieve yung goal niya. There is really something missing. May gap talaga sa project niya. So, he was really frustrated after how many trials. So, what he did was, he go to a drive, no? Tapos ang layo na naabot niya. And then, he ended up in a certain bar in their area before. And, yeah, he went there, he got a drink, and he just laughed at the idea that he just went there, no? From a long drive, he went there for a drink. So, what he did was, para hindi naman masayang yung ginawa niya, what he did was, he wrote some gaps that he did not notice over through the process of developing his mechanical machine. And he tried to find a new path, new direction. And I think, what if ito yung ifa-follow ko na direction? So, dito na, he came up with 4 breakthrough, created by Atanasoff for the new design of his machine. So, first breakthrough that he came up with is, instead of using mechanical movements, why not use electricity? So dito na pumasok yung idea of vacuum tubes. And then second breakthrough, since he is going to use electricity, so he would use base 2 numbers instead of base 10. So basically, this is correlated directly with switches that were either on or off. And with that idea, it results in digital rather than analog machine. Okay? And the third breakthrough by Atanasov is that he would use capacitors for memory because they store mga electronical charges with a regenerative process to avoid power leakage. So may idea na sila kung anong klaseng memory ang gagamitin. And then last breakthrough or kaapat, computation would be done by what Atanasov termed as the direct logical action, which is essentially equivalent siya sa Boolean algebra, and not by enumeration as all previous computing machine had done. So this is a very new idea from Atanasov. Now, a certain problem has risen with the fourth breakthrough. Kasi by this time, no, na naisip ni Atanasov yung mga breakthrough na yan, hindi niya pa alam ang ginawa ni George Boole, itong Boolean algebra, which is sana very useful to his fourth breakthrough, yung direct logical action. Now, hindi niya pa alam, so he's still wondering, paano yung magagawa yung fourth breakthrough na yon? Paano niya mai-implement sa new machine niya, digital machine? So, not until he met Claude Shannon in 1938. Tapos ito si Claude Shannon, alam niya na, nabasa niya na yung book of The Laws of Thought by George Boole. So nabasa niya na yun. So what he did, Shannon did is he shared his idea, his understanding of the Boolean algebra. Then Atanasov realized, oh my god, this is going to be really useful in his new machine. So this is where it all started. So dito na nag-start na implement ang Boolean algebra to a digital computing machine. So that's why today we see the significance of Boolean algebra's application in the design of modern computing system. So that is the reason why we include a discussion in Boolean logic and its application to digital computers. So yun, kilala na natin si George Boole and a brief history of how Boolean algebra was implemented to digital computers.